This is the night where our stars do come out to shine.
Out hustle. Out work. Out think. Out play. Out laugh.
Tonight's Star of Stars show is made possible through the generous support of our sponsors. Welcome to the Advocates' 35th Star of Stars High School Sports Awards. We are excited to honor the top athletes and teams in the Baton Rouge area for the 2020-21 sports season. Returning as our MC is Michael D. Smith, who has been the voice of the LSU gymnastics team for 27 years. Michael's announcing credits include Louisiana Public Broadcasting and the Southeastern Conference. He owns and operates the award-winning public affairs firm MDSA Strategic Communications. Please give a warm welcome to Michael D. Smith.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to be your tour guide for this very special event. It is the first time these awards have been presented virtually as we all continue to navigate through the pandemic that took so much from us over the last 15 months. Fortunately, high school sports were able to resume last fall, which makes the opportunity to honor Baton Rouge's top athletes and teams during the 2020-21 sports year all the more special. Sit back and enjoy what we think will be an uplifting celebration of these award winners who generated smiles and cheers over the last 8 months. We will start tonight with the singing of our national anthem. Singing our national anthem is our American Idol winner, Lane Hardy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much, Lane, for that powerful rendition of our national anthem. And now it is time to meet the Star of Stars for the 2020 fall sports seasons. After months of doubt about whether there could even be a 2020-2021 high school sports season, these fall sports athletes provided valuable examples of success during days of uncertainty, along with some incredible performances along the way. Our first winner offers an excellent case in point. His school had never won an LHSAA football title and was certainly not among the favorites to win. As a number 9 playoff seed, his team won 3 playoff games on the road and then won the Class 3A title game in resounding fashion in Natchitoches. He was the title game MVP and offensive MVP of the Advocates All-Metro football team for small schools. He passed for 2,005 yards and 25 touchdowns. And he also rushed for 897 yards and 16 more touchdowns. Our star of stars for football, Zion Chris of Madison Prep. A side note, Zion also was part of the Madison Prep basketball team that won a Class 3A title in March. Next up in our parade of fall sports is volleyball. It was the first sport to play regular season games with COVID-19 protocols. Our winner and her team were at the forefront of play at the highest levels in the Baton Rouge area in 2020. She helped her team claim the number 1 playoff seed in Division 4 and a 23-4 overall record that included wins over top local and statewide powers. She then earned Division 4 All-State honors and was voted the All-Metro MVP for Divisions 3, 4, and 5. She finished with 337 kills and 255 digs to help her team advance all the way to the Division 4 quarterfinals. She is a University of Southern Mississippi beach volleyball signee. Our star of stars for volleyball, Madison Cassidy of Parkview Baptist. Now on to cross country, which offers one of the Baton Rouge area's longest running success stories. Is that a bad pun? Maybe, but it also is an accurate statement that applies to our 2 winners who led their teams to LHSAA titles in November in Natchitoches. Our boys winner emerged as a leader for one of Louisiana's most storied programs with a series of breakout performances that included a victory at the Metro Meet, which closed out the regular season. His winning 3-mile time of 15 minutes 25.4 seconds at the Metro Meet, which was held at Highland Road Park, was his season best. But he was not done. He concluded the 2020 season with a 3rd place finish in the LHSAA's Class 5A race, leading his team to a 4th straight 5A title. The star of stars for boys cross country, Daniel Sullivan of Catholic High. The girls cross country winner has been in the spotlight for a significant portion of her high school career. Her senior season was without a doubt her best, as she posted the Baton Rouge area's top 3-mile time of 17 minutes 36.4 seconds at the St. Joseph's Academy Invitational. The LSU signee won multiple races during the season and then placed 2nd in the LHSAA's Class 5A race in Natchitoches, leading her team to win a 5th consecutive 5A crown. The star of stars for girls cross country, Sophie Martin of St. Joseph's Academy. No fans were allowed during the Capital City Swim League's regular season and championship meets. No spectators were allowed on the deck of the LHSAA meet either. That came after the LHSAA championships were moved to Shreveport after 2 hurricanes damaged facilities in Sulphur. None of this deterred the drive of local competitors, including our 2 winners. The boys winner is a West Virginia signee who was versatile enough to post top times in multiple events. He was selected as the MVP of the Capital City Swim League Championships meet and All-Metro squad for the 2nd consecutive season. He won 2 events at both the CCSL Championships and the LHSAA's Division II Championship. Along the way, he swam an All-American consideration time in one of his specialties, the 100-yard backstroke. The star of stars for boys swimming is Riley Brown of Liberty. Like our boys winner, our girls winner is no stranger to postseason honors. She also claimed the MVP honors at the CCSL Championships and was voted the All-Metro MVP for the 2nd straight season. The TCU signee went on to claim MVP honors at the LHSAA's Division III meet, also for the 2nd straight year. During the season, she swam an automatic All-American time in the 100 backstroke, which was also the fastest time swum by any girls competitor in all 4 LHSAA divisions. Our star of stars for girls swimming, Riley Moore of Parkview Baptist. Before we move into our next round of awards, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, quarterback Taysom Hill of the New Orleans Saints. Welcome, Taysom. We are so excited for you to be a part of our event tonight.
Congratulations to the Star of Stars athletes selected to represent the LHSAA's fall sports. Each of you excelled individually and represented your school so very well.
Thank you again, Taysom, and get ready because we will be hearing more from Taysom as our evening continues. But before we honor more of our current athletes, let's take a few minutes to catch up with a few of our past Athlete of the Year winners.
My fondest memory would probably be my sophomore year, and it was the state championship finals. And I think I struck out 21 and I hit the game-winning home run.
I used to be super shy and quiet, but playing this sports helped me develop as a person, learn leadership skills and how to work with my teammates.
It'd be winning that fourth state championship in baseball. We came in, we had a special group of freshmen that came in with me. To win one is tough. To win that fourth one in a row was pretty special, and I feel like we left our mark.
Episcopal was really, really good at volleyball. We won the state championship, and that was exciting, to win kind of the pinnacle event. I do have vivid memories of, looking back at my teammates and just seeing the excitement and high-fiving and getting chills now, just kind of reliving it.
Football was kind of the thing, and that was what I knew my future would ultimately end up in. But I was a good basketball player. I loved playing the game. It was always exciting for me when people saw how big I was and could actually play.
The team was started when I was in 5th grade, and I was competing outside of school, and I really wanted to represent my school, and Parkview did not have a swim team. So I begged my Bible teacher to be my sponsor, Coach Woodruff, and I was so thankful for him. He really started the swim team at Parkview.
We grew up into young women together and experienced high school together. And to work so hard and to be able to win a state championship together our senior year was amazing.
Being around my teammates, being on a bus ride to an opposing school, or waiting in a locker room to play a particular game, to me, those are the things that stand out.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're excited to get back to our awards, but first, let's hear a few messages from our sponsors.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. Then dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
Your home is where your memories live, where you laugh, and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for over 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
Our special guest Taysom Hill sat down with the Advocate's multi-talented writer and columnist Rod Walker, who asked some questions. Taysom provides some insightful answers and other thoughts. Check this out.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks, Taysom, for joining us. Taysom, the last time we saw you was in January. What has the off-season been like for you?
When I get to the off-season, I make sure I spend as much time with my family as possible. So we off-season in Utah. We're building a home there right now. That'll be kind of home base for us. And hanging out with the family. We got a little guy that's 7.5 months old that we're just hanging out with him as much as we can.
What's being a dad like been for you?
It's been so much fun. We come from a big family. I'm the youngest of 4. My wife is number 9 of 10. And so we're surrounded by so many nieces and nephews. And so the kid thing has been very natural for us because we've had so many kids around us. But as a dad, I don't know how to describe it. It's been so much fun, so fulfilling for me to see my wife give birth and to see this guy grow and progress.
Taysom, your time here in New Orleans, you've become one of the most popular players on the team. Why do you think the fans have embraced you like they have?
When I talk to people about what it's like playing in New Orleans for the New Orleans Saints, the first thing I always talk about is how unique a fan base we have here. And I don't know that it's so much about me as it is how loving this community is. They love their Saints. I felt that from the second that I got here. And I think if you talk to anybody, they would probably say the same thing. I've really appreciated that. You know, maybe it's because I'm playing multiple positions and it's a little bit unique, and so maybe it makes it a little bit easier to follow me because of the uniqueness of that. But I think it's just so natural for this fan base.
You talk about your multiple positions, but you know, quarterback is kind of what you are and that's who you are. Speaking of quarterbacks, the big news this offseason has been Drew Brees and his retirement. What's like the one thing that Drew's taught you or that you've learned from him that you'll carry on with you for the rest of your career?
Yeah, man, that's a loaded question. Drew has become he's become one of my best friends. You know, I view Drew as a brother. He's been my greatest mentor in the NFL, and to limit that to one thing, it's a very hard thing to do. I will say, and I think that this is important for young kids, or as you get older, you know, senior in high school, as you become a father, or you know, whatever that situation is. The thing that has been most beneficial to me is he's let me in. He allowed me to kind of grab onto his coattail, let me observe how he gets ready for games, how he practices, you know, the things that he says in the huddle. Like, I would say the best thing for me has just been able to observe how he does everything. And everything that he does has a purpose. Like, there's no wasted energy, there's no wasted time in that guy's day. I would say just the ability to observe him as a professional has been invaluable. And I think as, you know, seniors in high school, or as a dad, or as an older sibling, I think that that's a really important element, because I know Drew's aware. He was aware that people are watching him. And I think that's important for, you know, all of those classifications, that people are watching and to take that seriously.
How much are you looking forward to the opportunity to replace him? And I mean, obviously there's some big shoes to fill, but how much are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, well, I think the thing that I realize first and foremost is there's no replacing a Drew Brees. You know, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. But I think as I got ready to enter the NFL, I think my goal, my mindset was, man, to just do everything I can to have an opportunity to be a guy, because there's only 32 starters in the NFL. And so as I look forward into this year and training camp and OTAs and the season, I'm really excited about having that opportunity. That has been the goal, the mindset, since I was a rookie in 2017, first entering the NFL. So it's definitely something that I'm not taking lightly, and I'm going to give it everything I've got.
Taysom, that was simply outstanding. And stay tuned, folks, because we'll be hearing more from Taysom and Rod throughout tonight's ceremony. Courage can be defined in multiple ways. Few stories are more inspiring than those about a person who manages to overcome a critical illness, serious injury, or some other personal hardship to excel. We have one of those special stories to share with you. This young athlete was thriving, a year-round swimmer, and in classes at a new school. And that all changed just ahead of a much-anticipated summer break. A diagnosis of Hodgkin's lymphoma sent her to St. Jude's Hospital in Memphis. After chemotherapy and other treatment over a period of 14 months, she was cleared to compete for her high school team. That was in 2019. Last fall, she served as a team captain and scored points in 2 distance events as her team won its 10th straight LHSAA title last fall. She maintains a 3.7 grade point average and also is a member of the St. Jude Leadership Society made up of former patients. The Advocates Courage Award winner is Catherine Scully of St. Joseph's Academy.
Catherine growing up was quiet and reserved. She participated in lots of different activities, from dance to soccer to swimming. In early middle school, she began to devote herself to swimming.
She was always easygoing and very easy to get along with and fast to make friends with most people. It was a delight and a joy raising her when she was a little girl.
When I was 15 years old, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is cancer of the lymphatic system. I ended up being stage 2A Hodgkin's lymphoma. That was my official diagnosis.
When Catherine was going through treatment, we just took everything one day at a time. Once she sort of recovered from the treatment she had that week, she actually went back to the pool, she went back to Crawfish Aquatics, and she would swim for about an hour.
As her coach, watching through the process, honestly, it was a little difficult at times. She certainly, for a good period of time, was physically not capable of doing the things she formerly could. I never felt, it wasn't sympathy. You just have to know Catherine. There's no pity parties with Catherine.
She stayed positive throughout the entire thing. I don't think there was one time that I ever saw her completely just break down over it. I mean, I'm sure there were, but she always put on a smile and a positive face.
She was always positive, and I think that should carry over into my life. And when I get older and when I have kids, I'm always going to say, be positive and be joyful for the things that you have.
The culture of this team is that if one of the girls is sick, hurt, depressed, the team rallies around her. So I knew that her teammates would be supporting her through the entire ordeal.
I could not have done it without everyone encouraging me, cheering me on, showing up at swim meets. A group of my friends at a swim meet, they showed up and they had posters and stuff, and I just felt so loved. Like, it was just like the support that I needed. To someone going through a hard time, stay with it. Stay with the sport, whatever it is. Hard work pays off. I know. Every day you walk into practice, you have a choice. You can say, I can walk out the door or I can go. There were some days where I just didn't want to be there, but I went, I showed up. At the end of the day, I felt better. I felt better about who I was, and now I can look back and say, like, yeah, I did that. I've had cancer and then was on 2 state champion teams, and it's a crazy feeling.
Wow, your story is an amazing and inspiring one that is worth sharing with the whole world. Your desire and courage to return to high school sports is so special. Congratulations on winning the Courage Award.
Next up, we honor the top performers in the LHSAA's winter sports. COVID-19 concerns prompted the LHSAA to shut down the wrestling regular season a month early. Though seating capacity for fans in gymnasiums and other facilities was limited, once again, the talent level of the Baton Rouge area's athletes came shining through. Our honoree in wrestling proves all these points so well. After all, it is tough to top perfection, am I right? And perfection is what he achieved with a 52-0 record while competing in the 170-pound weight class for his Division I school. He won the LHSAA event title at 170 to help his team post a best ever third-place finish in Division I. He finishes his career with a record 213 wins, 55 losses, including 167 pins. This one also is a family affair. His older brother won this award 2 years ago. The star of stars for wrestling is Brad Mahoney of East Ascension. Now we move on to soccer, where both our winners made an impact on a statewide level. In boys soccer, we celebrate a winner who established himself as an elite player on the local and statewide level. He was voted the All-Metro MVP for Divisions 1 and 2 and also earned MVP honors in Division 1 after leading his team to the Division 1 quarterfinals. He was a prolific offensive player, scoring 33 goals, contributing 11 assists. In addition to all of that, he contributed 61 steals while continuously working to give his team the upper hand. The star of stars for boys soccer is Axel Agurcia of Denham Springs. Our girls winner illustrated how anchoring a suffocating defense can be just as decisive in soccer as scoring goals. She played center back and set the tone for a defense that allowed only 5 goals all season while winning a second straight LHSAA Division III title. Her team finished the season with 15 shutouts. Along the way, she also was able to contribute her fair share to the team's offense. She scored 9 goals and ranked among the team's leaders. Our star of stars for girls soccer is Lily Mittendorf of University High. Basketball has always been an important part of Baton Rouge's winter sports scene, which both of our winners have left an indelible mark on. The boys winner continued an incredible streak of success by winning the LSWA's Mr. Basketball Award given to Louisiana's top player each year. He was the 7th straight local winner of the award, and for good reason. The Santa Clara signee returned from a January knee injury to power his team to its 2nd consecutive Division III title. He averaged 32.1 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 4.3 assists per game. He made 55.4% of his field goals, including 44.5% of his threes. Our star of stars for boys basketball, Carlos Stewart of the Dunham School. Our girls basketball winner has impressive credentials all her own. As a junior, she led her team to the Class 2A title and was voted the MVP of 2A. While leading her team to the 2A runner-up finish as a senior, her skills and leadership continue to grow. The All-Metro MVP is a Southeastern Louisiana University signee who averaged 22.6 points, 11.8 boards, 3.3 steals, and 2.7 assists per game. Her will to win was on full display as she scored 12 fourth-quarter points to help her team rally from a 20-point deficit. The star of stars for girls basketball, Presley Scott of Doyle. Powerlifting concluded a busy winter sports season. The LHSAA meet held in Monroe was a cause for celebration for all lifters because their championship event was canceled by the pandemic in 2020. Our boys winner helped his team make history in a very big way. He clinched the LHSAA title for his school with his final lift of the meet. It was the first boys powerlifting title since 2010 for the school. He won the Division III super heavyweight competition with a total lift 1,620 pounds that included a squat lift of 700 pounds. Wow, and that decisive deadlift of 530 pounds, that is your star of stars for boys powerlifting, Bryce Scott of Lutcher. All our girls winner does is win championships, and the same can be said for her team. She is the star of stars once again, thanks to the fact that she dominated the competition again while leading her team to its 14th consecutive powerlifting title. Her dominance in the 114-pound weight class in Division III with a total lift of 955 pounds, that's more than the winning lifts in 3 higher weight classes. Our star of stars for girls powerlifting, Kwameka Stafford of Lutcher.
No way any of you could possibly overlook the accomplishments of the star of stars from the LHSAA's winter sports. Great job, all of you, and congratulations.
Our spring sports arrived with a slightly different lineup than usual. COVID-19 protocols for indoor events pushed back the start of the LHSAA bowling season. That move made gymnastics the first spring sport to conduct an LHSAA event since 2019. The 2 competitors being honored in gymnastics relished the chance to return to competition and wound up helping their teams win LHSAA titles. The boys winner helped continue a proud tradition for his school, which includes helping to host the LHSAA championships. He finished 5th in the Level 10 all-around competition to help lead his team to a 6th consecutive LHSAA title. He recorded a score of 64-3, which included top marks of 11-1 on vault, 11-0 in the final event of the meet, the high bar. The star of stars for boys gymnastics, Andrew English of Baton Rouge High. Our girls winner is no stranger to this event. She was the star of stars as a freshman 2 years ago. So in some ways, the season was a case of deja vu all over again. She won the Level 8 all-around competition with a score of 38 even. Her top marks came on vaulting, where she scored a 9.7, and floor exercise, where she recorded a 9.65. Those totals helped her team win another LHSAA title, the 2nd in a row. The star of stars for girls gymnastics, Ava Riche of St. Joseph's Academy. Bowling faced some unique challenges due to COVID-19 protocols and limits. The season started a little later than normal, but finished with fans allowed to watch the final competitions, including the LHSAA's team and individual championship. The boys bowler we are honoring tonight played a lead role in yet another impressive regular season run for Baton Rouge's traditional boys power, leading to a berth in the LHSAA's semifinals. His average of 212 pins per game led his team, a total that was the 10th best in the state. He scored 20 points for his team in the regular season and rolled a single game best of 257 in a semifinal loss to eventual LHSAA champion Brother Martin. His top series of the season was 704. Our star of stars for boys bowling, DJ Mills of Catholic High. Up next is our girls bowler who led her second-year team to the LHSAA semifinals, which is a huge accomplishment. She improved her average score per game by 10 pins since the 2020 season and finished with a 194 average that ranked third in the state. She was selected as the MVP of the local district and finished 7th in the LHSAA singles competition with a 770 series score. Her 2021 season also includes a second-place finish in the Under-18 Pepsi State Tournament, not affiliated with the LHSAA. The star of stars for girls bowling is Ashton Yoches of Dutchtown High. Our top boys player was instrumental in helping his team win a 4th consecutive title in the LHSAA's highest class, Division I. His team won its title by a slim 1-point margin. He was the singles runner-up in the competition held at the University of Louisiana at Monroe and provided pivotal points throughout the 2-day tournament. Along the way, our winner also won a regional singles title, also helping his team to another first-place finish. He finished the spring with an 11-4 overall record. The star of stars for boys tennis is Charlie Fremo of Catholic High. The girls player we will honor tonight excelled while competing in the LHSAA's Division III Class 3A. She made her final high school season memorable by winning a regional singles title. From there, she moved on to the LHSAA tourney in Monroe and advanced to the final round. She finished as the Division III singles runner-up. That match was her only loss of the season. She finished with an impressive 15-1 overall record while helping her team finish 4th among the Division III competition. The star of stars for girls tennis is Madison Morris of Parkview Baptist.
Athleticism should never be limited to a specific type of sport or mold. Trust me, I know. Your accomplishments prove that point and make you very deserving Star of Stars winners. Congratulations.
It is truly amazing to share the accomplishments of these incredible athletes. Just another outstanding group. Before we present our next round of awards, let's check back with Taysom and Rod. Their insight on sports truly adds to this event.
I know we've always described you as this jack of all trades, and because you've played so many different positions. How tough was that for you to do, and how did you handle all that?
It was challenging. You know, for as long as I can remember, I just played quarterback. You know, obviously that's all I did in college. Really all I did in high school. There was one year where I played receiver as a young player in high school. So to make that transition was a little challenging. Now I think my story is a little bit unique because I was undrafted. So initially, you know, to make a 53-man roster on opening day was like, I was ecstatic. And certainly grateful for the New Orleans Saints and coach for seeing something in me to pick me up. So when the opportunity presented itself to put a jersey on and to play, because the first, 9-10 weeks or whatever it was, I wasn't playing. And that was a difficult transition to me because I always played in college. I wasn't used to, being on the sidelines and not having that opportunity. And so initially I was just really, really excited about having that opportunity and that the coaches would create that for me. And then, I had this other challenge of, okay, how can I make sure that I can do this at a high level? How can I make sure that I'm helping our team win doing this unique stuff? And that was challenging, and it's still something that, even last year that I was trying to get better at. And, there's been kind of this natural progression of making sure that I'm doing everything I can to be a good blocker and, runner and all that stuff.
Is there a little bit of a relief this season knowing that you can sort of just focus on quarterback?
Yeah, it's nice. Look, at the end of the day, when I first got here and I started doing all this stuff, the answer when I was asked, like, hey, what's the end goal for you, has always been to play quarterback. And so I'm a quarterback at heart, and that's my mindset. And so that is really nice when I can tailor all of my off-season program to being as good of a quarterback as I possibly can.
Have you set any goals for yourself this season? I know players do it all the time, but what are your goals?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. Obviously, there are individual goals, and then there's goals at the high end. But I think there's been so much conversation about competition, and all this. But at the end of the day, for me, I have some things that I feel like will help me be as good as I possibly can. And to me, that is always my goal. That's always my competition. So, as a quarterback, it's all around decision making, timing, accuracy. At the end of the day, I'm constantly competing with myself to be as good of a player as I possibly can be. That competition never ends, whether it's on the football field or whether it's in life. I feel like I'm always just competing with myself to be as good of a person, good as a player as I possibly can.
Ever wonder what past winners of our Athlete of the Year awards think? They describe who their biggest role models were. Watch this.
My papa taught me how to pitch. I mean, it was every day, the grind, working with him. We had a really special relationship.
My dad and my mom, they were really hard workers. And so that taught me that hard work, putting in the effort is how you can overcome different obstacles.
My older brother, Trey, he was a guy that I could never beat in one-on-one, that I could never beat. So I was always competing against him. He was 15 months older. So I was always chasing and trying to fill his shoes.
The 99ers has always been, and that's the 1999 USA women's soccer team, especially Mia Hamm. I had her poster up on my wall and just tore out every magazine page that she was on and put it up on my wall.
From an athletic standpoint, one of my heroes, one of my role models was Reggie White. Was amazed at his journey, amazed at how he stayed above the fray and did things the right way.
My mother was one of my biggest role models in my life and in athletics. She was a professional triathlete. She is by far my biggest inspiration.
I had some amazing high school coaches. I utilize a lot of what I learned from my coaches now as somewhat of a coach myself. The internal medicine position that I get to teach residents and medical students.
My dad, he taught me a lot about life, and he taught me a lot about how sports mirrors life. And so, I was able to handle both my successes and both my failures just because of the lessons that my dad taught.
There are many ways to display school spirit. Most of us take the time to go to games and cheer for our teams. Some take school spirit to new levels by actively working to support the school and its teams when the games and practices are over. Our Spirit Award sponsor will now help us greet our winner.
Hi, I'm Ashley with RKM Primary Care, and I'm so excited to be here with you this evening. We are very proud to announce our Spirit Award winner. The Spirit Award is designed to honor and celebrate those who have gone above and beyond to support the athletic department or team at a school. So many people put in extra effort to make sure a sporting event goes off without a hitch or to help a team get what it needs. This award recognizes those who sacrifice the most, whether it's time, resources, or coordination. On behalf of RKM Primary Care, I want to congratulate tonight's award winner. Your time and effort are true examples of selfless support.
Our Spirit Award winner is seldom called by his real name. They call him Houseman, which is fitting for this 1964 Scotlandville graduate who always feels at home at his alma mater. His passions include working with the students at the North Baton Rouge School and serving up meals from his barbecue pit at sporting events. Houseman donates his time and money to Scotlandville. He has worked as a parent patrol officer, seldom misses a Hornets sports event, and shares stories about his upbringing in the Scotlandville community. Appropriately, Houseman was inducted into the Scotlandville Alumni Association's Hall of Fame just a few years ago. The winner of the Advocate Spirit Award, James Houseman Johnson.
If I had to describe Houseman in one word, I would say giver. He's a giver of time. He's a giver. If you're hungry, he's going to feed you. If you have any questions, he's available to answer those questions. Houseman is definitely a giver.
You can't have pride in the school unless others have pride in the school. And Houseman is the epitome of pride when it comes to Scotlandville Magnet. You never see him not at the game. When I walk in for basketball games, on that first row, mid-court, I'm gonna see Houseman. When I go to a home football game, I'm gonna see his pit. And if I can see it, I know the kids see it. And when they know they have that unswerving support from the community, That's a little bit more for them to fight harder, to play harder, because they know what they're playing for.
He'll feed the kids after a ball game, he feed the players and things. This particular night, I noticed that Houseman had a lineup, he just feeding all these kids. So I went over and asked him, Houseman, how many kids coach dress out tonight? He said, no, that's the other school. So he was feeding both schools and both teams. And that's just typical of Houseman.
When I get a chance to talk to kids, if they partaking into some of my cuisine, I tell them all the time, to be the best, you got to eat the best, you got to dress the best. And wherever you travel, I don't care where you leave, once you graduate, you can always want to come back.
Serving and caring for the needs of a high school and its student athletes makes you truly special. Thank you for all you have done and will continue to do, and congratulations on winning the Advocates Spirit Award.
Let's return now to our final group of stars from the LHSAA's remaining spring sports, and we will begin with golf. Let's face it, all golfers dream of making pressure shots that lead to victory. Unfortunately, most of us are not that talented. But the two golfers I'm about to introduce to you, they do make those shots. The boys winner definitely saved his best for last. He kicked off his postseason by winning the Baton Rouge area's Metro tournament held at Beaver Creek Golf Course. After 2 weeks, he wowed the field at Karen Crow's The Farm Dali and won on the final day of the LHSAA's Division III tournament. He shot an 8 under par 64 and finished with a 12 under total of 132 over 2 rounds. He is one of the All-Metro team MVPs and is signed to continue his golf career at the University of Southern Mississippi. The star of stars for boys golf is Ryan Dupuy of the Dunham School. The girls golfer we honor tonight offers a contrast here. She is in position to be a fixture on the high school golf scene for years to come. She set the tone for all local girls competitors this season, even though she's only an 8th grader. She had the best regular season average among local girls, won the Girls Metro Tourney title, was the Division II regional runner-up, and earned a 4th place finish at the Division II championships with a 2-day score of 152 at Le Vieux course in Youngsville. The star of stars for girls golf is Sophia Macias of Episcopal. Like so many of the other spring sports, baseball and softball were not able to complete their 2020 seasons because of the pandemic. That fact heightened the anticipation for both sports this spring, and the two athletes we honor tonight did their part to make 2021 a real hit. The area's top baseball player finished the season with statistics you might believe could only exist in a video game. He played catcher and batted leadoff, helped his team claim the number 3 playoff seed in the Class 5A playoffs. Though his season ended after just 1 playoff round, it did nothing to tarnish his numbers and other accomplishments. He hit .426 with 10 home runs, 8 doubles, 6 triples, and 44 RBI. He also threw out 12 of 22 runners trying to steal and could be one of the first Louisiana players selected in this year's Major League Draft. The star of stars for baseball, Blaze Priester of Live Oak. And yes, the softball player we honored tonight has plenty of notable numbers of her own. She led her team to a District 4 5A title, the number 4 playoff seed on the Class 5A bracket, and ultimately a berth in the LHSAA's quarterfinal round. She was a dual-purpose threat for opponents as a pitcher and a power hitter. She finished with a 21-2 record in the circle, a 138 earned run average, and 187 strikeouts. And at the plate, she batted .522 with 20 homers and 43 runs batted in. The star of stars for softball, Lainey Bailey of Walker High. Being able to run faster and jump higher is something just about every kid wants to do. But only select few grow up to do those things, and our 2 track and field winners are in that number. The boys winner we honored tonight has been one of the nation's top high jumpers for 3 seasons. He cleared 7 feet to claim a national ranking while leading his team to an LHSA indoor title. He excelled in both the high jump and sprints throughout the spring, adding an indoor and outdoor titles in the 400 meters to his resume. He won Class 5A outdoor 400 meters in 47.5 seconds. He also had a season best 21-33 in the 200 as his team finished as the 5A runner-up outdoors. He also is an LSU football signee. The star of stars for boys track and field is Chris Hilton Jr. of Zachary. Hilton continues a family tradition by winning this award. His father, Chris Sr., was the star of stars in 1989. Our girls winner ranked among the nation's top competitors in multiple events during the 2021 season. She capped her indoor season by winning the national indoor title with a high jump of 5 feet 10 inches. Wow. She also cleared that same height to tie the Class 3A record at the LHSAA outdoor meet. She also claimed a national ranking in the long jump with a best of 19 feet 9 3/4 inches. In the javelin, she had a season best of 142 3 3/4 that also made national performance lists. The Oklahoma track signee closed out her career by winning 4 events at the LHSAA outdoor meet to claim Outstanding Performer honors. The star of stars for girls track and field is Ariel Pedigo of Parkview Baptist.
Talk about a fabulous finish. Your performances in the final spring sports of the 2020-21 year are so impressive. Congratulations to you all. You are truly star of stars worthy.
No matter where you go around our communities, you'll run into someone who knows Robin Fambrough. And just as importantly, no matter where you go, you'll never find someone who has a single bad word to say about her. That just doesn't happen anymore. For more than 3 decades, when you've gone out to a high school event in our area and you see Robin Fambrough walk through the door, you know you're at the biggest game in the city. She's an extraordinary asset to this community, and she has impacted countless lives with her reporting. Her encyclopedic memory, her work ethic, and her passion for her job are unmatched. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment to indulge us as we honor our own standout, 6-time Prep Writer of the Year, and a member of 2 Halls of Fame, Ms. Robin Fambrough.
Sports in every part of Louisiana has its own niche, and Baton Rouge is certainly no exception. I love the passion of the athletes and the coaches here, and I also love their camaraderie, the way they all meld together. They have some fabulous stories that deserve to be told, and it's not always about who the winning athlete is or who the best athlete is. The championship football game that both Catholic and Madison Prep won in Natchitoches, both were very, very emotional and fabulous moments for those teams, because that was one of those seasons that everybody kind of said, oh, I don't think you'll be able to do that. You won't be able to get that in. We had some teams that came close and maybe didn't win, but you could see the spirit and the determination of the athletes as they competed. It was incredible. Our indoor track meet, just watching the different athletes perform and excel. There were so many records set that day. You could tell they enjoyed it. It was about them, and that's how it should be. Advice for any student athlete, I would say, would be to be true to their self and to who they are. And I know some of you are still trying to figure out exactly who that is. But at the end of the day, the choices you make sure you're surrounded by good people, make sure you listen to your coaches and your parents, and keep in mind that we always should live for today, but the experiences you have here will help you build a life.
No one knows high school sports in the Baton Rouge area quite like Robin Fambrough. Her thoughts on this challenging year and high school sports in our Baton Rouge area help frame this event. We will move on to our remaining feature events soon, but before we do, we want to share more of our conversation between our special guest Taysom Hill and our own Rod Walker.
We have a lot of the athletes that are watching that play multiple sports, and some, concentrate on one sport. But I know back in high school you played different sports. What all did you play, and why did you play so many sports?
This is obviously a controversial question around, high school level, college level, and that as athletes. And I'm sure a lot of our athletes here tonight feel a lot of pressure in this way. But I'm a big advocate of playing multiple sports. I went football, went right into basketball, and then I ran track in high school. And I loved the changeup. I felt like it was good for me mentally to, give everything I've got into football and then go give everything I've got into basketball and then go do the same thing run track and field. Honestly, I don't know that I'd be able to be doing what I'm doing now if I wouldn't have had, that background. If I would have specialized in being just a quarterback, I don't know how that translates to me running down on kickoff and returning kicks and, all of that stuff. So I believe it just aids to being a well-rounded athlete.
Was there a point in your high school career or just any time growing up that you knew that I think I can be a pro football player?
I remember in high school feeling like, man, I can play at the next level. And to me, I felt like there was like stepping stones for me. And so I was playing in high school, I started to be recruited. I went to a couple camps, bigger camps, and I did really well in those camps. And I remember having moments where I said, man, I can do this. I can go play Division I football. And then I was being validated because I was being recruited, and I had an opportunity to play in college. And then as I got to college, I had several moments in college where I was like, man, like I can play at the next level. I can do that. And I think until you get to the NFL, you have this perception that you know what the percentages are, and people are telling you the percentage of the guys in high school that make it to college and then college that make it to the NFL, and I was aware of that. And I remember having a conversation with a coach in Green Bay where he said, every player needs to have a moment. Every player needs to realize that they belong in the NFL. And I remember having those moments as a rookie during training camp in Green Bay, during preseason. So to answer your question, I felt like high school, I felt like I had the ability to get to college. And then when I got to college, I felt like I had the ability to get to the NFL. And then when I got to the NFL, I had moments where I felt like I belonged. And that was my process.
Who are some guys that you, or girls, guys or guys, who are some people you looked up to, growing up?
Family was such a big thing for me growing up, that the answer is easily, my parents, my mom and dad, and my older siblings. As I mentioned, I was the youngest of 4, and I feel like I have benefited from that because I was constantly playing with older kids growing up. I was trying to catch up to my brothers that was 9 and 6 years older than me. They all played college sports in some regard, to where my sister, who was 3 years older than me, was like beating me up as a little kid, and she was better than me at all these sports. I felt like they kind of set the foundation. They also created a belief in me because I saw my older siblings go and play college sports. And I wanted that for myself, and they showed me that it was possible. So I would say that they were easily my greatest role models.
We go to the ceremony and, they line us up. And when they call out the name, I literally start to clap. And then I notice that it's me and that everybody's looking at me. So I was extremely surprised to the point that I was looking around and it ended up being me.
I was in the year that it was a single win, boys and girls. There was like one winner. The fact that I won a female for the first time, that was such an honor. And I don't even realize how big a deal that was at the time.
You look back at the names that are on that list, some pretty special people and people that have been successful in life after sports has ended. I definitely felt honored.
You see the athletes' names as you're growing up, you're like, I want to be the player of the year. And so it was something that I aspired to, and then a huge honor to achieve it.
My father was in the crowd. My grandmother, who passed, was in the crowd, was able to see that. My mom was in the crowd. So to actually look the people in the faces that are really responsible for you being there, that made that special.
I look back on it and I just have the utmost respect and felt so honored to be a part of the entire experience.
I was not expecting it at all. It was such a surprise. I was just, putting my head down and working and trying to get to that next step of college, and to find that out was just amazing.
I never played for the accolades. I just played to play for the competition of it. And so for me, man, that night was just a surprising night. It was a great night for me and my family.
I'm Dr. Gary Cheney. I'm a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner at RKM Primary Care. I grew up in Baker, and I've worked in healthcare for over 40 years. At RCAM Primary Care, our treatment options are driven by patient need, not by money. This is especially important with behavioral health services. I'm humbled to have the opportunity to help individuals that deserve quality patient care, regardless of their ability to pay. Come see us. We can help.
The right care close to home. RKM.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. Then dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
Want to improve your smile? At Sullivan Dental Center, our friendly, experienced team is dedicated to you and your healthy smile. Sullivan Dental offers a full range of services to create an individualized treatment plan for your unique needs. We provide a luxury spa-like experience every time you visit our office. Call Sullivan Dental Center today or visit us online to schedule your appointment. We look forward to meeting you.
Now it is time to introduce our finalists for the Advocates 2020-21 Girls Coach of the Year. Our first finalist coached for many years at Baton Rouge High before retiring. But another school lured him out of retirement to take over a team that had already won a series of LHSAA swimming titles. Keeping a successful program on top is seldom simple, but our finalists found ways to make it look easy. Last fall, the school won its 10th consecutive LHSAA Division I title. Please welcome our first Girls Coach of the Year finalist, George Newport of St. Joseph's Academy.
He is just an amazing coach. He is an amazing strategist. He is an amazing technician as far as stroke and technique. He understands how to use the best swimmers in the best events to get the most out of them.
He is a leader to not only the girls in the team, but their friends, myself, and basically anyone he comes into contact with. And the girls know they can come to him with anything that they need, and that's why I would describe him as a leader.
The thing with George is that he's always going to be there. If you need him, he's going to be there. He's going to be there 100%. And he would give you the shirt off his back. It's as simple as that.
The things that I like about swimming, it teaches these children discipline. It teaches them to budget their time. It teaches them to make a commitment to things. And my philosophy is to make it as positive an experience for these kids as possible. That way they leave at least with a smile on their face.
Our second finalist has a unique connection to this awards event. One of her athletes was honored tonight as a Star of Stars in their sport. It is an award she won herself as a standout at Baton Rouge High. Her teams have won the last 2 LHSAA Division III girls soccer titles and have won a total of 4 LHSAA titles since 2015, the most by any Baton Rouge girls team. It's only fair to say that her team is the gold standard for high school girls soccer in Baton Rouge. Our second finalist for Girls Coach of the Year, Melissa Ramsey of University High.
When I think about the way that Melissa's just drive for excellence permeates through everything she does, it's passionate. There's emotion that goes with it. There's joy. There's even just a little bit of a tinge of fear of losing that brings out just the absolute best in her.
She sees someone struggling, she pulls them aside and coaches them and helps them through the drill. For me, sometimes I couldn't get the balls in the box properly, so Melissa pulled me aside after one practice and said that I could practice hitting them with her until I felt comfortable and until I got it down, and we did that, and it just helped me grow as a player.
When the kids go the distance and we're successful, it is like, it's gold. It is the best thing ever. That's what makes my job fulfilled. Just watching them succeed and them being successful on and off the field. Not just when they're good, when we win the games, but if a kid does something that they have been trying to do and they're able to do it in the game, that is pure joy.
The third finalist came to the Baton Rouge area as an assistant coach 13 years ago. He left for other jobs, but returned to take over the girls basketball program at Class 1A East Iberville. The Tigers advanced to the LHSAA tournament for the first time in his third season. In 2020-21, his fifth season, the Tigers took things to another level. They finished 25-6, won the school's first LHSAA title. Earlier this month, he also coached the EIHS girls track team to the 1A runner-up finish. Our third finalist for Girls Coach of the Year, Mark Temple of East Iberville.
During the whole season, he kept giving us scriptures and stuff and was telling us to stay positive and to never put our head down, and was saying how this is our year and this is our time, we will achieve it. At halftime, everybody's heads was down. It was like we was looking very defeated, and we really wasn't down that much. We could have fought back as we did. And he just came in, never showed a frown, always kept positive vibes, and he brought the team back, and we won it.
Coach is also an outstanding teacher. He's a mentor teacher at our school, so not only does he coach basketball and track, but he also coaches teachers.
It's way more than just going to play a game that goes into coaching, because you have to worry about kids' grades, make sure they're emotionally good, they're emotionally stable. Making sure they're developing not only as players but as humans. But if I had to pick out of them winning a state championship and them going on to be successful in life, I'd rather them be successful. That's the real victories. That's the real one.
And now, the Girls Coach of the Year for 2020-2021 is Mark Temple of East Iberville. Congratulations to you, Coach Temple, your school, and your team.
Congratulations. Your accomplishments as a coach are so extraordinary, and your impact on athletes is more important. Congratulations also to our other finalists.
Impressed with those finalists and the winner? Well, guess what? We're only half done. It's time to introduce the finalists for the Boys Coach of the Year Awards. The first finalist was a high school football standout who went on to play at LSU. He is a highly successful assistant football coach at a school that has won 3 LHSAA Class 5A titles. But he has also enjoyed great success as a head track coach who coaches his school's boys and girls teams. This spring, his boys squad won the LHSAA's Division I indoor title, setting a series of records along the way. More records were set during the outdoor season that ended just a few weeks ago, with his boys team finishing as the Class 5A runners-up. His girls squad was also a second-place finisher. The first finalist for Boys Coach of the Year is Chris Carrier of Zachary.
Coach Carrier is probably one of the most organized persons I know. And he's also very detailed, where he kind of gets everybody involved in the community that come out and just be a part of the program.
He has the team take on a family atmosphere, so he doesn't do it for any recognition. He does it because he loves the kids, he loves the track program, and he loves to compete.
Someone you can always go to, someone you can also clown around with and be yourself. And he always puts us in the right positions to do better.
We try to get kids to perform at a high level. When those guys reach, those are individual goals that they want, but as a coach, you feel like, hey, these guys are at the top of their game, and that's what you want them to do, is get to the top of their game. And that's something that you can feel proud of when they accomplish a goal that nobody else has.
Our second finalist has been a fixture on Baton Rouge's high school sports scene for more than 40 years. Last fall, his school won its 25th straight Class 2A boys cross country title, the nation's longest current streak. He coached his high school girls cross country team to a title that same day. His boys track team followed those feats with Division II indoor and Class 2A outdoor titles. Those track titles gave his school the track's high school triple crown for the 5th year in a row. Claney Duplichan of Episcopal is our second finalist for Boys Coach of the Year.
He has such a strong fiber of character. He really wants to be the best person that he can be, and he wants to share that with his student athletes and try to help them grow into productive young men and women.
Coach Dupe is incredibly passionate about the character of kids. He's incredibly passionate about getting his kids to be competitive on and off the track and cross-country field. And so it's a pleasure to watch that passion come out each and every day for a guy that's been around at Episcopal since about 1978.
My coaching philosophy when I first started was I just wanted to try to win. And it seems like as I worked harder trying to make kids better people, the winning came naturally. So I guess that's my main philosophy now, is just trying to make kids better people, trying to get them to have good integrity and character, and hopefully become good citizens whenever they graduate.
The third finalist we will introduce left coaching and was working as a school administrator just a few years ago. He was coaxed into working as an assistant coach by a former classmate and then became the school's head football coach. 4 years later, he led his team to the first football title in Class 3A. His team was the number 9 seed and had to beat 3 higher seeds, including the top seed, on the road before running away with a 50-0 win over the number 2 seed in the title game. Our last finalist for Boys Coach of the Year is Landry Williams of Madison Prep.
He's impacted us in so many ways. His passion for the game, his passion for his team. He hypes us up every practice. He's a funny coach, and just love to be around him.
He does a great job of keeping everything balanced. Even though things are going on outside of our football circle, we still understand that each week, each day, that we got to come out and continue to work hard. And we have goals and tasks at hand that we have to complete. So he does a great job of keeping the family balanced, as well as what we have to do on the football field.
Trying to help kids realize their athletic ability, trying to help them, create an identity for themselves and kind of encourage them to give their best, to give their all. There's a lot of things that you have to go to in order to get on the field, and sometimes you got to find ways to encourage kids to, to give their best and give their all when they don't feel like it. So that's one of the toughest parts about coaching, and it's one of the best things ever to help a kid realize that he has potential to make it to the next level.
And the winner of the Boys Coach of the Year, Claney Duplichan of Episcopal. Congratulations, Coach. This is an honor we know you are proud to share with your team and school.
Yet another coach with an amazing list of accomplishments who is also a teacher and mentor to so many. Congratulations to you, and congratulations also to the other finalists.
It is easy to understand why Baton Rouge area teams are as successful as they are when you have leaders like these. Congratulations to you, Coach Duplichan, and Coach Temple, also to our other finalists as well. Our Team of the Year awards are coming up real soon. First, let's check in with Taysom and Rod to get more of their insights on sports.
Is there one piece of advice that you've got from a teacher or a high school coach or something that just sort of stuck with you?
I don't remember like a specific moment where I had a conversation with someone, but my mindset has always been to be successful. And I remember I had other conversations where it wasn't well defined, but now as I'm 30, I'm starting to realize what they were trying to tell me. And it was all about, setting goals that you can accomplish. But when I was in high school or earlier than that, it was about not limiting yourself. So you have all these goals, and I think it's great, and a lot of them are lofty, but it's easy to get lost in some of these goals and the goal setting, where what a lot of people around me did was don't limit yourself, so make sure you're doing as well as you can in school so you don't limit opportunities when you're trying to get into a college. Make sure you do well in your ACT so when the time comes, you can get into the college that you want to get into. When you get to college, make sure you do well in college, so if you don't make it in the NFL or if you have some crazy injury, that you can go work and be successful. And as I look back, that's what they were trying to teach me, and they created that for me.
I'll put you on the spot a little bit here, but is there a high school coach or just a coach you grew up playing for that was your favorite?
Yeah. I was surrounded by so many great people.
You can list more than one.
I think my high school coaches, there was a couple that really stand out in my mind because you're at such a malleable age, and our head coach, Coach Gino Mariani, and then we had a receivers coach, Coach Fowler, that that really I felt like kind of took me under their wing. They, helped me through this process of being recruited, but they were also part of that group that created expectations for myself, and that they made sure that I didn't limit myself in any way. That to me was more about football less about football and more about just being successful in life in general. And that's what I'm most grateful for.
That's a good segue to my next question. What would you be doing if you weren't playing football?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, I think about it all the time. But the answer is, I would definitely be doing something in the financial industry. So my wife and I actually both studied finance at BYU, graduated from the Marriott School of Business. I've realized I really love that world. And so I don't know exactly what that will look like. Through college, I interned at a couple different businesses, one being a venture capital fund, another one a private wealth fund, and I'll probably be doing something, or I would be probably doing something in that field.
Now we turn our attention to some of the top teams that made the 2020-21 sports year so memorable. Here to welcome our finalists, our Team of the Year award sponsor.
Hi, I'm Avery Davidson with the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and I'm so excited to be here with you this evening. We are proud to announce our winners for Team of the Year. This award is important because it serves as a reminder that to achieve great things, we need everyone. It's not just about 1 or 2 star athletes. It's not about one great coach. To do great things, a team needs everyone. Standouts and role players, coaches and support staffers, seniors and freshmen. To do great things, a team has to handle hard times, navigate those obstacles, and do it all together. The greatest teams don't just have great talent, they have a great sense of purpose and togetherness. On behalf of Louisiana Farm Bureau and the Farm Bureau Insurance Companies, I'm proud to present this award for Team of the Year. Congratulations, you've earned it, and you've earned it together.
And now it is time to meet the finalists for our Girls Team of the Year award. We've already detailed the exploits of our first team. Through dedication and teamwork, this Class 1A squad took on top teams from all classifications in a quest to become one of the best. Some might mistakenly call them an overnight success story because they had never won an LHSAA title before. Theirs is a success story that was 5 years in the making. Even when they fell behind in their LHSAA tournament games, they refused to fold and ultimately won their school's first LHSAA basketball title, finishing 25-6. Our first Girls Team of the Year finalist, the East Iberville basketball team.
When we got upset the year before, I think that's what made them hungry. So I saw it from day one in practice. They had a different focus. Their mindset was on, we're gonna win a state championship.
It was unbelievable. It's like, we'll go down, this person falls down, then you have somebody picking them up. Then you look into the stands and you see the crowd and how much they believe in us, and it just makes you go harder, make you wanna push.
Like every other team, we have ups and downs, but they rallied together. It didn't matter who was the leading scorer, who had the most rebounds, who had the most assists. None of those things mattered. All that mattered that they won.
We could depend on each other, and if one person is not right, we know we can lean on one another's shoulder.
I feel like this team has really made me look further out in the opportunities in life and push me further and made me see my full potential.
Congratulations, girls. We love you, and continue the hard work and continue doing the things you're doing to make positive for yourself, for the school, and for your community.
Few Louisiana teams in any sport have excelled in the way that our second finalist has. Their streak of 14 titles in a row would surely be 15 now if it had not been for the pandemic that ended their season prior to the LHSAA championships. This long-running success story in Division III has showcased a large number of competitors who have passed the torch on to others who continue the quest for excellence today. Interestingly, this team started its string of titles before their sport was added by the LHSAA. Their story includes a most recent title won in March in Monroe. Wow, how about that? The second finalist for Girls Team of the Year, the Lutcher Powerlifting Team.
I think what makes our team so special is the family we create around it and how we're always all there for each other and we all support each other no matter what. We work together and we help motivate each other and keep pushing.
Well, I don't know what other teams do, but I know that we work very hard for what we want, and we strive to get more championships each year. This was our 14th state championship in a row.
We managed to win state with 8 girls who had never competed at state before. So out of our 11 that competed, 8 of them had never been to state championships before, and they still finished pretty much exactly where we thought they would place.
What I realized that our team was special was when during our practices, bench days, squad days, deadlift days, when everybody was on a roll, it feels exciting because by the time the state championship comes, everybody will be able to do more than they will ever have done before.
To have this many girls do what we asked them to do for this many years and to have this result is, what else could you ask for?
We move on now to our last finalist for Girls Team of the Year. This is another team whose accomplishments have already been noted during another portion of our presentation tonight. Theirs is a decade of dominance in LHSAA's highest classification, Division I in swimming. This team also represents a large number of competitors, past and present, who have come together to excel locally, winning their 21st straight Capital City Swim League Championship meet along with a 10th consecutive LHSAA Division I title last fall in Shreveport. Our third finalist for Girls Team of the Year, the St. Joseph's Academy Swim Team.
I think what makes this team so special this year is we not only tried our best in everything that we did, but especially with COVID, we all remained really positive and we knew we had work to do, and so we kept working as hard as we could to make sure that we got our goal, which was 10 consecutive state wins.
We're great at supporting each other. When someone's swimming, we're always standing right there, cheering them on, making sure that they feel supported.
What mainly sets us apart from the other teams out there is just our positive spirit in all of our competitions. Coach George motivates us as a team through really his positivity. There's never a time where he's telling us that we can't do anything. It's always, you're gonna do it, whether you like it or not, because he knew that we were capable of it.
I'm just excited and happy for him because it doesn't happen often, and when it does, they see some reward for all the work and time and energy that they put into the sport, and it is one demanding sport.
The winner of the Advocates Girls Team of the Year Award, the East Iberville Girls Basketball Team.
Every team has its own story to tell, and your story is terrific. Congratulations to team members, coaches, and support staff who are part of this effort. Also, a shout out to the other finalists on their successes.
What a great group of finalists, and congratulations to the Tigers. Next up are the finalists for the 2020-21 Boys Team of the Year. The first team we will introduce made a special kind of history. Theirs is a long-running success story that has spanned decades. This team played in a Division I final in 2020, but did something in 2021 that had not been done in 28 years. And that's win an LHSAA title in Division I soccer. They entered the playoffs as the #1 seed and had multiple impressive wins while finishing 17-2. But no win was more significant than a victory over a traditional power that had been nationally ranked in the title match. And it was not just any kind of win, it was an overtime victory. Our first finalist for Boys Team of the Year, the Catholic High Soccer Team.
We had a lot of different phases throughout the season, especially in this COVID year. It's just the way that we bonded together, and it kind of varied with how much we could be together, at first. But then eventually when we were able to all come together, it's just so much joy, and you can just feel it in the air. Having that connection at the beginning of the season, we just took off.
We love each other as players, and it shows on the field and our chemistry.
We knew that every game could be our last game. With that mentality of just kind of being confident, but also knowing that nothing's going to be given to us, we were able to really get after it this season.
This team had a lot of experience, so we've been wanting it for the past couple of years and fell short last year.
We've been wanting this so bad, and St. Paul's is the team to beat, and we knew that because they always were beating us in these situations. So to go out there and to win that was just the greatest thing ever.
I just replay that, those memories in my head over and over because they were just so special to me.
The second finalist is a team and a traditional power in its sport. This time around, the team came so close to perfection They won their first 30 games against teams from all classifications, including 2 playoff wins. This team did not lose a game until the first game of a quarterfinal playoff series. But that loss did not deter the team from reaching its next goal. This team bounced back the next day and won 2 games to advance to the LHSAA baseball tournament in Sulphur. Our second finalist for Boys Team of the Year, the Parkview Baptist baseball team.
What makes this team so special, in my opinion, is that we formed a brotherhood over the past 4 years.
We know how to win together, play together, and be good teammates.
They know the way we run our program. They're very committed to our program, and that's why we're in the position that we're in right now, because of them.
Coach Jag pushes us to our limits, no matter what.
You have to be perfect, and or be really close to perfect. I mean, we were 30-0, and then we lost our first game of the year. We didn't know if we would just fold and just let them beat us the next day and be out of the tournament. But I think after we won the first game on Saturday and then won the second game on Saturday, knowing that we have no quit, I think that really showed that we're always in the fight.
They're very talented. This is probably one of the most talented teams I've had since I've been here. You know, I've been doing this a long time. This is number 49 for me, and I'm an old guy, and the good Lord's blessed me with great health, but I just enjoy being around them, and I know sometimes they don't enjoy being around me, but I enjoy being around them, and I think that's what I'm here for.
Perhaps no team in Louisiana had a better feel-good story than our third finalist. A trip to the quarterfinals in 2019-2020 was just the springboard for the school's first state title in basketball since 1944. This is a program that had not advanced to the LHSAA tournament since 1963. But that all changed with a team that was impressive during each of its 5 playoff wins in Class 5A. They beat a District 4 5A rival in the semifinals and then went on to oust an LHSAA tourney regular, Natchitoches Central, in the title game to finish 26-6. The third finalist for Boys Team of the Year, the Zachary basketball team.
What makes this team so special is the bond and the brotherhood that we share.
It's the hunger. I think the hurt of us losing in the quarterfinal last year, it really stung this group a lot.
We've been saying this really since my freshman year when I got here, that we was going to be the history-making team.
And I think they spoke this into existence for a while, and they worked, the work followed what they were saying.
We wanted to be about it, not just talk about it. So I think us just sticking together, working hard, putting extra time in the gym, just set us apart from everybody else.
About 2 days before we started the first round of the playoffs, the wreck that happened on the old bridge. One of our freshmen that is on the varsity team, that was his little sister that was trapped in the car. It wasn't just about basketball at that point. It was about being a family. It was about having each other's back, regardless if we're on the court or off the court.
I can't even explain it. Like, we just so special. We just unbeatable and unbreakable, and the bond is just always there.
The winner of the 2020-2021 Boys Team of the Year is the Catholic High soccer team.
What a fantastic season for you guys. You too have a success story that is so worth sharing. Kudos to all team members, coaches, and support staff involved, as well as the other finalists.
Again, I'm just not sure how to do this virtually, but how about some applause there at home for our outstanding Team of the Year winners? Next up, our past recipients would like to pass along a few short words of wisdom.
Take a couple days off every once in a while. When you get 42 like I am, your body starts to hurt a little bit. And you maybe want to take a step back and don't, do all the crazy stuff to get you ready just for that next tournament or just that next game. Take a step back.
Of course, it's fine to compare yourself to see where you are, but not to the point where you're like constantly comparing yourself to someone else and not feeling good about yourself because of where you're at.
Early on in high school, I was a little bit lazy, didn't like to work, and then at some point I figured it out. Sometimes it's tough to challenge yourself if you don't have somebody to go work with you, but I would have worked a little bit harder earlier.
You will not get this time back, and you will look back on it and wish that you could just shoot around in the gym and just go out for pizza with your teammates after and sort of not have the pressures of everything else that comes with becoming an adult. And so to enjoy it.
Be who you are. Be unapologetically the person that you are,
and we all become exactly what we want to be. Find something to believe in as well that's bigger than you, and find a purpose that expands beyond your own self-interest.
You represent not only your family, your friends, your teammates, your classmates, but you represent the tradition, everybody that has come before you in that sport, at that school.
You really need to learn to slow down and just enjoy those friendships that you're making and enjoy the time you have to play a sport and just to be free and have fun and do something that you're good at.
Stay in the moment. Enjoy high school. Enjoy days where you don't want to practice. Enjoy being around your teammates. Obviously, we can't play sports forever, but when it's all said and done, when you put your cleats up and you put your equipment up, you have those moments that you always remember.
Hearing these past Athlete of the Year winners offer advice to our current athletes is priceless. Thank you for helping us take this event to a new level. Now we'll check in with Taysom and Rod one last time before presenting our final awards of the night.
Is there one piece of advice that you got from a teacher or a high school coach or something that just sort of stuck with you?
I don't remember like a specific moment where I had a conversation with someone, but my mindset has always been to be successful. And I remember I had other conversations where it wasn't well defined, but now as I'm 30, I'm starting to realize what they were trying to tell me. And it was all about, you know, setting goals that you can accomplish. But when I was in high school or earlier than that, it was about not limiting yourself. You know, so you have all these goals, and I think it's great, and a lot of them are lofty, but it's easy to get lost in some of these goals and the goal setting, where what a lot of people around me did was don't limit yourself, you know, so make sure you're doing as well as you can in school so you don't limit opportunities when you're trying to get into a college. You know, make sure you do well in your ACT so when the time comes you can get into the college that you want to get into. When you get to college, make sure you do well in college so if you don't make it in the NFL or if you have some crazy injury, that you can go work and be successful. And as I look back, that's what they were trying to teach me, and they created that for me.
I'll put you on the spot a little bit here, but is there a high school coach or just a coach you grew up, you know, playing for that was your favorite?
Yeah. I was surrounded by so many great people. You know,
can list more than one.
I think my high school coaches, there was a couple that really stand out in my mind because you're at such a malleable age, you know, and our head coach, Coach Gino Mariani, and then we had a receivers coach, Coach Fowler, that really I felt like kind of took me under their wing. They, you know, helped me through this process of being recruited, but they were also part of that group that created expectations for myself, and that they made sure that I didn't limit myself in any way. That to me was more about football less about football and more about just being successful in life in general. And that's what I'm most grateful for.
That's a good segue to my next question. What would you be doing if you weren't playing football?
Yeah.
Have you ever even thought about that?
Yeah, I think about it all the time. But the answer is, you know, I'd definitely be doing something in the financial industry. So my wife and I actually both studied finance at BYU, graduated from the Marriott School of Business. I've realized like I really love that world. And so I don't know exactly what that will look like. You know, through college, I interned at a couple different businesses, one being a venture capital fund, another one a private wealth fund, and I'll probably be doing something, I would be probably doing something in that field.
What is something about the NFL that most fans don't realize that goes into being successful?
Yeah, I will say the amount of time it requires for you to prepare to be successful. And I think that that's what a lot of people miss, you know, and I guess we can talk about it, but I don't know if people really internalize what it requires you to be successful. And, you know, we talked about Drew and him being a mentor and a leader and how grateful I am, but that guy prepared like no one else I've ever been around. And he was in early, he was home late, and all that time, like he's away from his family, you know, he's he is so invested that he's doing everything he can to be successful. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize. You know, I think maybe there's this expectation that you show up in the morning, you go to practice, and then you just show up on Sunday and you play the game. And that's just not the case.
What's your pregame routine like? A lot of kids have these superstitions.
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that. What's yours like? What does Taysom Hill do?
I'm not a superstitious guy, but I definitely have a routine. You know, I have a time that I try to wake up in the morning. I have, you know, breakfast that I like to eat. I have a meal that I like to eat on Saturday night. So I'll always eat steak and a potato with some veggies and a salad on Saturday night before game. And then I wake up in the morning, have a couple eggs with some whole wheat toast. And that's as routine oriented as I am. Everything else is, you know, I do what I have to do, but I'm not a superstitious guy, and I've tried to do that on purpose.
The last question I want to ask you, and this is more for, you know, strictly for those kids, but I mean, what's the one piece of advice you give a high school athlete?
I think going back to this idea that don't limit yourself, you know, and so what does that mean? I think it's important for you to have goals. You know, whether you want to be a college athlete, whether, you know, what career do you want to work in? And then I think it's important that you start to realize what is it going to take to get there. But the last thing you want is to get to 30 or 40 or whatever and realize that, man, if I would have worked a little bit harder, if I would have done a little bit better in school, like I could have had this opportunity. So I'm all about working harder now, creating as many opportunities for yourself as possible, and then, like, I promise you, you will find success in whatever that is that you want.
Perfect. Taysom, thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your off season and enjoy the family.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
The Advocate added awards for Special Olympics competitors as part of its Star of Stars program in 2018. We are proud to continue this tradition tonight with 2 more athletes who have inspiring stories to share. Now, we welcome our Special Olympics Athlete of the Year award sponsor to help introduce these athletes.
Hi, I'm Mike Race, and I'm so excited to be here with you this evening to present our Special Olympics Athlete of the Year awards. These awards recognize 2 of the best athletes in the area who have demonstrated courage and excelled in their sports while sharing joy with their families and their schools and other athletes. These Special Olympians get to participate in local programs and show off their hard work. They can then advance to state and even national games. Congratulations to both of tonight's honorees. Your achievements and your sportsmanship make you a deserving winner.
The fact that she competes in bowling, basketball, bocce, horseshoes, swimming, and track and field is proof that the girl we are honoring tonight loves to compete and is not afraid to try multiple sports. Getting to be around all the other Special Olympics athletes is something she truly enjoys. But the chance to learn a new skill or new sport truly motivates and gives her the opportunity to get fit and stay active. And yes, she believes all Special Olympics athletes accomplish great things when they get the chance to compete. The Advocate's Special Olympics Girls Athlete of the Year is Megan Burns.
Being involved in sports for Megan has just made her more confident that she can do things, that saying no is not an option. She tries everything once. Most of the time she likes it. If she doesn't, she'll tell you, but she won't not do it. She keeps trying.
Being involved in the Special Olympics has been great for Megan. It gives her an opportunity to get out and play some of the sports she loves with some of her best friends. So being able to see them and compete against them in a friendly way.
Megan has a little bit of competitiveness in her, and I think this has taught her sportsmanship, respect to your opponent, showing kindness to everyone, whether you win or lose.
We call it a ringer. That's, of course, when you get the horseshoe around the stake. There's been a few times she'll get multiple in a row, and again, she'll just, cheer and scream. Everybody's cheering her on, get her going.
I definitely recommend other families getting involved in Special Olympics. It just makes our children social. We not only just do sports, we get together to eat or go places outside of Special Olympics, but it helps you get that group together. Any parent that can put their kids in Special Olympics, that's just a way to get them involved.
It is incredible to see how Special Olympics has helped you grow and develop. Congratulations to you, your family, and the Capital City Region Special Olympics coordinators.
The young man we are honoring tonight embraces a wide array of sports. He trains and competes in bowling, horseshoes, and bocce on a regular basis, and also has trained and competed in both track and field and cycling. His why for competing in Special Olympics is twofold. First, he wants to show the community he can succeed in anything he works hard at. Second, and most importantly, he believes competing in Special Olympics makes him a better person. Wow. It is our pleasure to introduce Bryson McCoy, the Special Olympics Boys Athlete of the Year.
Bryson enjoys doing anything and everything, no matter what it is. Sports, dancing, hanging out, going to the movies. He has to be doing something most of the time, or all the time if possible. Once they finish school, there's really not much out there for them to do except for sports. He's one that doesn't care whether he wins a ribbon, a medal, or anything at all. As long as he can be out there with his friends and enjoy himself and have a good time.
Bryson is a great athlete. One of my favorite things about him is he's always excited to come to practice, and he's always willing to partner up with anybody.
Bryson loves just being with people, whether he's doing something athletic or not athletic. He just loves the fact that he can get out there, show what he's got, put his heart and soul into what he's doing.
Being involved in sports, especially something like the Special Olympics, has really encouraged Bryson to accept challenges and to face them head on. Also, Bryson is so full of joy all the time. So not only is it good for him, I really do think it's beneficial for everyone else that's around him whenever he is competing, because I know it's so easy to smile whenever you're around him.
So awesome. We can never doubt the influence athletics can have on the life of every student, and you are truly proof of that. You, your family, and the Capital City Region Special Olympics coordinators deserve a congratulations.
There was a time when a person's word was enough, a time when a handshake meant something and integrity really mattered. For over 70 years, the values of Farm Bureau Insurance have been rooted in hard work, faith, and family. In that time, we've seen the world change in many ways. What hasn't wavered is Farm Bureau Insurance's commitment to protect our customers' way of life and serve the communities in which they live when they need us most. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
At RKM Primary Care, we believe healthy families build stronger communities. Now with 11 locations, patients and families in our surrounding area no longer need to travel great distances to access quality health care. At RKM, treatment is based on patient need. Our providers are passionate about what they do and treat the whole person as well as the whole family. Our mission has always been clear: the right care close to home.
The right care close to home. RKM.
Well, folks, it has come down to this, the final two awards of the night, the Advocates Athlete of the Year Awards. But first, I'd like to give you a brief history lesson about this event. In 1986, the State Times, which was then Baton Rouge's afternoon newspaper, decided to host an event that would honor the Baton Rouge area's top high school athletes, calling them the Star of Stars Awards. And they honored one Athlete of the Year. Over the years, the event has grown to include Athlete of the Year winners for both boys and girls, along with Team of the Year, Coach of the Year, and our special awards for Special Olympics, as well as our Spirit and Courage Award winners. This is the 35th year for Star of Stars Awards. Following the accomplishments of high schools and athletes in the Baton Rouge area is part of a job that is also a passion. And presenting these awards tonight is an honor and a privilege. Now, it is time to introduce our Athlete of the Year finalists. Our first finalist not only loves to compete, she finds ways to excel at each of her three sports. In basketball, she played point guard, helping her team to a winning season and a Division I playoff berth. She averaged 5.5 points, 4 assists, and 3 steals. She led her school's gymnastics team to an LHSAA title and was the Level 8 all-around champion and is the Advocate Star of Stars in gymnastics for a second time. In track, she helped her team win an LHSAA Division I indoor title by finishing second in the triple jump. In outdoor track, she ranked up second among area pole vaulters with a height of 12 feet and had season bests of 18.5 in the long jump and 37.3 in the triple jump. She placed second in the pole vault and long jump to help her team win a Class 5A outdoor track title. Ava Riche of St. Joseph's Academy is our first girls finalist.
The first time I saw something special in Ava is when I first saw her tumble. Her athleticism is unbelievable. Her dedication to the sport is amazing.
She's kind of like the Energizer Bunny. She never stops. She is always on the go, always wanting to do better.
To her, it's not about the wins and losses. It's about her setting the goals and going out and achieving them. To me, that's one of my favorite Ava stories, is the drive, the dedication, and the motivation that she puts upon herself to get out there and be successful.
My parents kind of motivate me. My dad motivates me a lot because sports are important to him, and my coaches motivate me because I can't do it without them. It feels like cool. Like, I don't know. I feel like I accomplished something with my sports, and I feel like I've done something.
Taking things to a higher level is the specialty of our second finalist. Case in point, she won the national indoor high jump title with a leap of 5 feet 10 inches and then repeated that feat to tie the Class 3A outdoor track record earlier this month. The Oklahoma signee was selected as the outstanding performer for the LHSAA's 3A meet after winning 4 events, 3 of which she is ranked nationally. Her season best of 19.9 3/4 in the long jump ranks nationally, and so did her best javelin throw of 142 3 1/4 feet. She also ranked among the area's top 100-meter hurdles and posted a winning time of 14.64. Wow. Parkview Baptist Ariel Pedigo is our second finalist.
Even yesterday when that torrential rainstorm came in, it came in right when we were about to start practice on the track. And I'm like, you better hurry because we gotta get out of here. And she just kind of looked at me and shrugged her shoulders like, what do you want me to do? And she proceeded with the workout, and just out there just getting drenched.
For me, it was like her junior year where she was finally getting my husband up to go to practices early in the morning. She's very dedicated and she does her thing.
So my big dream is wanting, to compete at the Pan American U20s. And every time I think about that, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I want to work hard. Or maybe I'll go on Instagram and I'll see all these girls hitting PRs, or going back to my old videos and seeing and just wanting to PR. So I kind of just start thinking about that and want to just get out there and go and get better and hopefully, qualify for the Pan Ams and PR big.
The third finalist recently received the highest compliment an athlete can receive. She leads the top 50 all-time list of Louisiana's best high school girls powerlifters. She's won the Star of Stars Award for girls powerlifting multiple times and was a multiple-time LHSAA champion to help her team continue its impressive string of 14 straight titles. As a senior, she won the 114-pound weight class with a total lift of 955 pounds in Division III, a total that was higher than the winning lift in 4 higher weight classes. Prior to the pandemic, she also enjoyed success in national and international competitions. Lutcher's Kwameka Stafford is our third finalist.
My proudest moment was her last lift at the state meet in Monroe. I didn't think she would be able to lift 410 pounds, and she did it like it was a piece of cake, and it brought me to tears, and I just bawled crying.
It's helped her develop into somewhat outspoken, but definitely a leader by example in the way she handles things around the team. She's not vocal, come on, rah, rah, but when it's time to work, she's the one getting her work done, and she's doing work, and she leads by example with whatever group she's working with. She shows them the best way to do it and the fastest way to do it.
It's most of the people that motivates me. For example, my coaches, my family, teammates, everybody, because at least I got an audience that can support me, back me up, cheer for me, encourage me to keep going, never stopping. And I just thank everybody because I wouldn't be where I was today.
How impressive was that? 3 outstanding finalists for sure. And now, it's time to reveal our Girls Athlete of the Year winner, the 2020-2021 Girls Athlete of the Year. is Ariel Pedigo of Parkview Baptist.
When they said these Athlete of the Year awards were a big deal, they were not kidding. Congratulations on a wonderful season of milestones, and what an accomplished group of young ladies as finalists. Continue to shoot for your dreams.
Now I have the pleasure of introducing the 3 boys finalists who will also wow you. The first Boys Athlete of the Year finalist is someone we have already introduced. He is our star of stars for football and led his school to the first LHSAA title in the sport. He was All-Metro Offensive MVP and an LSWA All-State selection who passed for 2,005 yards and 25 touchdowns. He also rushed for 897 yards and 16 touchdowns and was the MVP of the Class 3A title game. From there, he moved on to basketball, where he was a reserve on another Class 3A title game team. In track, he won the javelin with a throw of 169 3.5 feet to help his team win another LHSAA title. Our first finalist is Zion Chris of Madison Prep.
He's kind of old school guy. He really works hard. He don't get caught up into the media hype and all those other things around his social media. He just like to go about his way and, and compete and make his teammates better. So that's one of the things that I love about him. He's a team first guy.
I think it may have been one day at a practice, understanding that this kid is a freshman, not really paying attention. I think it may have been on the opposite side of him, or on the defensive side of the ball, and the ball just goes zooming past my ear. And so I'm like, what was that? So it kind of caught my attention. I was like, okay, he have a pretty good arm. I said, I don't think that's one thing that we have to worry about is his arm strength. So that was one thing I know that stuck out to me early on.
A lot of memories that on the state championship game, seeing everybody happy, and that made me smile inside because everybody worked so hard for it. We came together, we loved each other, and we kept pushing each other every day.
Like our first finalist, the second finalist is another athlete who was honored a bit earlier in tonight's event. He is our star of stars for track and field and also is an LSU football signee. Last fall, he helped his team advance to the Class 5A football quarterfinals by catching 25 passes for 417 yards and 5 touchdowns. In the spring, he was a powerful force in track and field. First, he helped his team win an LHSAA Division I indoor title and leaped 7 feet in a high jump to rank nationally. He also was the 400 meters champion, and the spring brought more of the same. He also won the Class 5A high jump and 400 meters with a top time of 47.5 to help his team place second in Class 5A. Chris Hilton Jr. of Zachary is our second finalist.
Chris has been one for 4 years that he's not going to say a lot, but every time he goes out to compete as an athlete, whether it was football, basketball, and track and field, he's always had a lot of success come his way, with a lot of God-given ability, but with a tremendous attitude and great family supporting him. He's just been great from day one.
Chris has definitely grown and changed throughout his high school career. Not just as far as athleticism, but his confidence level, his self-esteem. He's definitely come out of his shell. He's become a young man. And it happened right before my eyes, obviously his parents' eyes, and everybody at Zachary High's eyes as well. He can be one of those people that definitely is the face of LSU, not just because of what he can do on the football field, but the character that he'll bring to the institution.
What motivates me would be my family, because I do it for myself too, but also do it for them because I know they want to see me succeed in everything that I do. Growing up, my parents played sport, like all my family were athletes, so I just followed in their footsteps.
Our third finalist never stopped battling. He overcame a junior season hampered by injury to become a driving force behind his team's push to the Class 5A playoffs, where they advanced to the regional round before losing to eventual 5A finalist Acadiana. Football proved to be a warm-up for what would come next. He joined the school's wrestling team. The LHSAA wrestling tourney ended in February with this athlete standing on the podium as the Division I 285-pound champion. He finished the season with a 21-2 record and was also All-Metro selection for his team. Perhaps most importantly, his LHSAA tourney win gave his team a third-place finish in the team standings. That school's highest ever in Division I, the LHSAA's highest class. The third finalist for Boys Athlete of the Year, Gavin Soniat of East Ascension.
Our football teams and our wrestling teams were better having Gavin on them. He was a great teammate. He's always positive. I mean, he battled a lot of injuries. He battled a lot of adversity. He was always upbeat about where he was going to be at the end.
The thing that set Gavin apart from other athletes is that he still got some of the traditional work ethic. He competes to be the best all the time at whatever it is he does. He's unselfish. He changed positions a couple of times for us, and the way Gavin talks is, you ask me, Gavin, I need you to go. He said, okay, coach, let's go. That's his mentality. And without a second thought, he'll do it and he'll give his all. So I think that's what separates him.
I don't expect anything less than the best from myself. And if there's somebody in the room that's better than me, even if it's like chess, for instance, I'll try to beat them. I think it's almost to a fault, but I can't stand being second to someone. So that's motivation enough for me.
Yet another outstanding group of finalists, don't you think? Well, if you find it hard to pick the winners, don't worry. I suspect you're not alone. The time has come to reveal the Advocate's Boys Athlete of the Year winner. And the 2020-2021 Boys Athlete of the Year is Chris Hilton Jr. of Zachary.
Well, this is indeed a big finish. Your accomplishments this season also were so incredible. You too deserve congratulations. As for the other finalists, you rock. And as I said before, keep pushing to fulfill your dreams.
What an exciting evening. Special thanks to you, Taysom, for joining us in honoring all of these spectacular athletes.
Thanks, Mike. It was a pleasure to be part of this event. Now, I'm not sure how to do this because this is a virtual event, but can those of you watching all join me in giving a round of applause for the award winners tonight? Congratulations again to all of those honored tonight. I can't wait to see what you accomplish in the future.
And that concludes our program. The Advocate Sports staff would like to thank you for tuning in this evening, and we look forward to seeing you all next year. Take a cue from our winners tonight and keep reaching for the stars. Good night, everyone.
Tonight's Star of Stars show was made possible through the generous support of our sponsors.
I would love to thank my parents, my coaches, my teammates, and my friends.
My two coaches, Coach Pete Boudreaux and Coach Trey Hendry, they mean the world to me.
Thank Coach John and Coach Kel for just being like the little #1 coaches, you know.
All my family, especially my mom and dad, they definitely pushed me to go out there and train and work every day, and also my teammates, because without them I wouldn't have been where I am today.
First, I would like to thank God for blessing me and allowing me to accomplish what I have accomplished. Then I would like to thank my parents for pushing me and helping me out along this long journey. And last, I want to thank my coaches and my teammates for sticking with me through it all.
My parents, just for all the dedication and stuff they've done to help me throughout the years, and my coach just for pushing me all the time, even when I didn't want to try or anything. So, and also my teammates just for being there and motivating me and just making it fun.
I'd like to thank the Dunham School, my parents, Coach Pixley, the trainers that helped me get back from injury.
My dad and my mom, because my dad has drove countless long hours and thousands of miles and trips just to get us where we need to be in wrestling. And I had a bad loss. My dad was over coaching. I would go give my mom a hug and she'd make me feel better about myself.
My mom, my dad, my sister, and my coach for all being there and supporting me and helping me live along this journey.
And my family, because they've been there since I was little. You know, my dad staying on me.
My parents, because they've always supported me.
I thank my parents for being there pretty much my whole career as a swimmer.
And I'd like to remember my coach Kyle, who passed away a couple of days ago. I'd just like to remember him, and I want to make him proud.